Good evening, everyone. We are all set to preview the big game today. It's the game between the Rajasthan Royals and the Kolkata Knight Riders. It's going to be played at the Dubai International Stadium. Quite a different stadium to what both these teams played. RR are coming from a superb run at the Sharjah ground where they've had such a free flowing stadium there. KKR are coming from Abu Dhabi, had a very bad start and then capitalized it well when they came and played trumps against SRH. So are both these teams set to play at Dubai, which has been quite unpredictable? We'll have to wait and watch. Before we get into it, let's look at the squad for RR and let's analyze what could be their playing level. And now we're going to look at the Rajasthan Royals, the home team for today's game. Two wins, one win. Perhaps they never thought they would win against the Kings 11 Punjab till that storm from Rahul Tewatia came up. What a game that was. He perhaps silenced every critic. No one liked the decision of promoting him up. So they're coming with a lot of confidence, having chased down a target, having defended a target. But the only thing is the venue changes. They're coming from Sharjah to Dubai. Dubai has been you just can't judge Dubai properly even now. They've had around 5 or 6 games played at the Dubai International Stadium, but still no one knows how to maybe say go out and win. You've had a game where it's got tied when both teams have gone and scored 200. You've also got games where teams have failed to chase 170 or 160. So is this going to be a win the toss, bat first kind of a pitch? And if so, will RR be able to do that? I think RR's clear cut thing has to be that they have to win the toss and bat first on this track. They've got the pacers to support to defend targets, and I don't see any changes per se coming in. They might be tempted to say, let's give Unatkat a break and have Varun Aaron coming in there, but you don't normally want to tinker a winning combination. Yes, they did drop Yashasvi Jaiswal, got in Steven Smith to open with Josh Butler because that gives a power pack opening. I still feel maybe Sam Samson can come up, but then having said that, I think Josh Butler, Steven Smith, and Sanju Samson in no specific order. They fit into the top three. Is going to be perfect. Last game they tried Rahul Tewatia at number 4. It worked and he came up trumps there. But would they want to do that again? I somewhere feel they need to give some game time to Robin Uthappa. Look, Robin Uthappa is a extremely talented player. He's had an international stint. He was an orange cap holder in the IPL 6 years back. So you are looking at a very solid player there. He's not had game time. So Uthappa coming in there is going to create some help there. Riyan Parag, Rahul Tewatia can always come in and get those runs when they need. The bowling is pretty much sorted. You've got Tom Curran, Jofra Archer, Ankit Rajput had a decent comeback in the last game. Unatkat is someone who has to contain the runs, and Shreyas Gopal has been great. Shreyas Gopal is going to have the role. I somewhere feel they have to use Shreyas Gopal during the power play because they'll also know how they can tackle a Sunil Narayan or maybe say silence Shubman Gill there. All in all, the squad looks great. The playing 11, I don't foresee any changes unless it's a forced change due to an injury. RR looks settled. They need to adapt to the conditions at Dubai. There's a lot to adapt. There's the pitch, there's the outfield, longer boundaries. So that's something that the batsmen have to adapt when they go for the big shots, unlike Sharjah. And most of all, catching the ring of lights or the ring of fire, as they call it, in the Dubai stadium with regards to the lighting positions. They have to get used to that as well. We've seen a few drops going their way. So that's how the squad for RR is, and this is my predicted 11 for RR for today's game. And now we're going to look at the team in purple and gold, the Kolkata Knight Riders, two-time IPL champions. How have they been so far in this tournament? They've won one, they've lost one. The good part is they're coming off a win. The only thing for them also is going to be how they adapt to Dubai. They've played 2 games at Abu Dhabi, so playing at Dubai is going to be slightly trickier for them. One good thing that they created was a balance in the playing 11 last game. Dinesh Karthik has around 7 to 8 bowling options. I think that's a lot of bowling options for them. You look at paces, you've got Pat Cummins, you've got Kamlesh Nagarkoti, the ever improving Shivam Mavi, Andre Russell can come in and chip in with 2 or 3 overs. So you've got 4 solid paces, and to complement that, you've got spinners. You've got the likes of Nitish Rana, who's a part-time spinner. You've got Sunil Narayan who can bowl. Kuldeep Yadav hasn't had great games, but you'll have to back Kuldeep Yadav. You've got to give him that backing. He's someone who tends to get that support and does well. And then you've got Varun Chakravarti. Varun Chakravarti was given a lot of hype last year, couldn't perform because of an injury. He straight away came up and he did well against SRH. Remember he getting that cotton ball off David Warner. That possibly set the tone for KKR in that game. So they've got 4 frontline fast bowlers. three spinners, and also there's an additional spinner in Nitish Rana. So they've got eight bowlers for a 20 over game. That is perhaps one of the best balanced squads that KKR have. And fortunately for them, they don't have any injury worries there. The one concern that they would have is could be how does Narayan fit from an opening batsman perspective. The only thing is maybe they can't get in a foreign player obviously because they've got their four foreigners set purely in terms of having Narayan, having Pat Cummins, Andre Russell, and Owen Morgan. Now, do they look at Rahul Tripathi coming in? You would have thought so, but I think given that they've won the last game and Shubman Gill playing very well, he played a pretty different innings. He didn't go hammer and tongs. He played quite calmly. He was serene enough to build partnerships. I think Shubman Gill's innings made a lot of value there for them. So Narayan has to get go right from the word go. So that's how Narayan would operate. Shubman Gill and Narayan coming in there. What I would want to see is get that number four position fixed. I think somewhere I feel number four is suited for Ryan Morgan. Let Karthik and Russell come at number five and number six. And maybe say if the second or the third wicket falls at the 12th over, then get in Russell as early because you give Russell 5 7 balls, he gets set in, and then you're looking at he blazing right through. That's the kind of person that he is. And it's going to be an interesting game because you're looking at KKR and Rajasthan Royals both have a lot of options with them. KKR, I feel, are pretty much better balanced than the Rajasthan Royals there. So this is going to be my predicted playing 11 for the KKR for today's game. Let's see how it is. And now we are looking at the final segment of our preview. It's the matchups. What are the big matchups in today's game? I think straight away, if you look at RR versus KKR, you're looking at one big matchup: Sunil Narayan versus Steven Smith and Sanju Samson. Sunil Narayan has been able to contain Steven Smith to a larger part. Steven Smith struggles against Sunil Narayan. That's been very evident in the IPL over the years. So right away, I'm somewhere guessing that KKR would want to use Sunil Narayan as soon as the opening batsmen come out. Same way with Sanju Samson. While Sanju Samson has scored well against Narayan, he's also been dismissed by Narayan. So and Sanju Samson has a pattern. He plays well at the start of the IPL and then begins to taper. He's had two great innings. Of perhaps one of the innings could be classified as one of the best innings in this year's IPL. But then he also tends to taper down as the tournament progresses. So if Sunil Narayan can get these two wickets, then KKR have won one battle there. And he's one of the highest wicket takers for KKR against the Rajasthan Royals over the last many years that he's been associated with the team. So that's one big matchup. The second matchup is going to be, of course, the matchup of two people. One originated from West Indies, plays for England. One happens to be with the West Indies. It's the Barbadian versus the Jamaican. We are looking at Jofra Archer versus Andre Russell. Jofra Archer is known to be a bowler at the death. Andre Russell can go all guns blazing right from the word go. He tends to score big at the death. Are we looking at perhaps two of the very great cricketers who are going to play this game in terms of sheer death bowling and death batting abilities? We've got to watch out. They don't have much of a matchup in terms of IPL, but you never know. There can always be fireworks there. So these are the two big matchups that we wanted to discuss and a great game in store. We've had some excellent thrillers in the past 3 days. We're looking for one more here at Dubai. May the best team win. All the best to both the teams.